So this is a video that I've actually had for quite some time now, and honestly, for what I can tell, the results of it were not making me happy. And make no mistake, this is not just a call out after what happened, even though I am kind of late to the party for the call out, but I decided to just do that. So without further ado, let's get started on the next take on ImAllexx. Now, for those of you who don't know who ImAllexx is, he's an he was a user on the commentary much out of his own channel, mostly due to the fact that he's no longer doing anything else, though. But one thing's for sure, though, the guy himself has made numerous videos on exposing people, I guess you could say. The reason why I'm saying this is because that's the most I got from his channel was just cringeworthy. Like he'll react to some things, he'll do something that he'll get himself well known, and he'll also do such other stuff though. By the time I'm making this recording, he hasn't really been doing such content lately. But one thing's for sure though, watching his content made me question, like, did everyone really find this funny? Did anyone find it that redeemable to find anything about it? I'm generally asking because honestly, I wouldn't know due to the sincerity of how many videos this guy has done. No, over 500 videos that he's been doing though, and the last video we had from him was from JoJo C. While I admit I don't like JoJo Siwa anyways though, and I'm pretty much butchering that though, that doesn't really say much for what we're about to say though. One thing's for sure though, this guy just doesn't really have that much going for his channel though, unless you count the Pokemon and no, which is honestly something that he did say, like for Keemstar and stuff like that. Oh, trust me, we'll get back to that in a few minutes. But for right now, I don't think ImAllexx should really be on this platform anymore after what's been happening so far. Now, technically, a lot of people could say that he's going through a lot, but to that I say he's went through a lot more than what we did to in itself, though. As such, though, the guy himself has been doing a lot of videos since 2013, and he's also picking popularity by using some video some other video game channels though. So I'm guessing you can tell that he probably did steal videos or something like that, which I'm not sure how you didn't get copyright strike though, because honestly that is something that could have been like that. Around the time though, when doing so already though, when he's gained a lot more than attention to realize though, he hasn't really gotten into a lot of things though that we shouldn't be asking ourselves though. For one thing, he did and have a podcast series which featured both Keemstar and Colossal is Crazy. Now, I don't have much of a history with Colossal is Crazy because I don't know much about the person. So if you're gonna ask in the comments who's Colossal is Crazy, I can't really say too much other than the fact that he, I guess he was known to have a lot of things going for him as well, though. Though honestly, it's hard to tell. And honestly, I think I may have heard of the channel before. I just didn't know what he was because I mostly know him for his channel icon that looked like that came from the Brave Little Toaster. That freaking clown. Yeah, because I'm sure that's really something you want in your channel icon. Now, I'm not really going to be one to judge, but still. But Keemstar, on the other hand, yeah, he's a deck of cards that need to be uh, shuffled and put back in the box because honestly, there's not much to say other than what everyone else needs to know. He's obnoxious, he can be too much at times, and thus making a lot more than what could have been. No, however, and let me say to you, he's really hard to talk about himself, though. Now, Alex himself did say that he was going through a lot, though, and he did manage to own up his wrongdoings. But to that, I say I'm not gonna fall for any of this tricks anyway. Mostly because most of the videos that I've seen, especially on the Google Drive folder, which Harley TBS actually does have the video if you want to check out his video and the like. So I'll leave that in the link of the description if you want to see that for yourself. But one thing's for sure though, when it comes to Alex's behavior, it's inexcusable for what he's done to his ex-girlfriend. And I'm not gonna say her name or anything because I don't want to give away. I want to keep her name anonymous as possible. But one thing's for sure, though, he did have abusive actions on not just her, but to a lot of times, though. Hell, he even made a threat saying, "I'm going to who and say what he's going to do, though, like some kind of death threats or anything like that." And then he goes so far as to say that this is really he's really sorry for all that stuff. Dude, I wouldn't even say if you were sorry enough if you hit a cow. That's really something I can never forgive. Hell, I don't think anyone should forgive it. But then again, I'm no one's puppet master, so there you have it. One thing I can't honestly say about this guy is that he's just way too much on his own hand, though. Now, as someone who's been in abusive relationship and honestly got and gaslighted for multiple reasons that I don't like getting into, though. I don't really buy these excuses for obvious reasons, though. That being said, however, some people could make the argument that maybe he just wants to get back with his girlfriend and everything. Well, for one thing's for sure, that doesn't really excuse anything the guy is doing, though. Even going so far as to say that, oh, I'm sorry, I'll give me another chance and other stuff. Now, I will say that he hasn't been doing videos ever since that incident occurred, though. But that still begs the question if he's just trying to hide from everybody, or if even if he did make an apology video, what's the point? It's not gonna leave much of anything. No. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he wouldn't even know it existed, even if I did do the video on him. Even more so than you may think, though, he's just really gone to the point where he'll do anything like that. Though I did hear that he was diagnosed with BPD or borderline personality disorder, whatever you want to call it, because honestly, well, someone who's never been around other people has done so, although I've seen a lot of damaged people in my life, though, I don't know if know anyone who has it in real life, but what I do know is that I've heard of something like this. Basically, your personality switches on and off like a on and off switch, and sometimes they'll come as someone who it says that they can never do no wrong, yet they do something batshit insane. Though, yeah, I'm not really one to say what these symptoms do to people because I don't know what's it like to have. I don't know what's going on. But one thing I do know for sure, though, is that it's really gone to the point where he's just, ugh, yeah, I think you already know how I feel about that. And to make matters worse, he'll do anything to make it look like, oh, I'm sorry, give me another chance, will you please? And to that I say, no, I wouldn't even give you another chance, even if you could suck on rocks for all I care. Yeah, this is definitely the case where I can't honestly tell that there's nothing salvageable about this guy. Even going so far as to say things like the death threats and everything, and people could say it's his diagnosis doing to it, though. Now, I will say, as someone who's a mentally disabled person, even though I don't have borderline personality disorder, I don't really use my actions as an excuse for my behavior. My behavior is done by me and only by me. No one forced me to do it. Nobody forced there's anything down my throat to say do it because that's who you are or anything like that, though. This is what I mean when I say I hate it when people use their disabilities as an excuse, because if you're going to say to me that your disabilities are the excuse for your actions, then chances are it's not going to leave anything, though. Oh, but I hear you crying to me, audience. Yeah, but he's also a victim of sexual assault. Well, let's get to that at least. I still don't buy it. Yeah, I'm fully aware that even victims won't do anything wrong or something bad will happen to them, but there are victims out there who will do something wrong. Remember the whole fiasco with the Senate call and everything like that with so many people and the like, though? Yeah, I don't think anyone should buy those as excuses for their actions, though. Hell, it's not even remotely a good enough way excuse your own. Like, I can't even describe how much this would have been if it would have been like something like that. Truth be told, I it's done so far, but honestly, the Google Drive that I will say that Harley TBS does have, though, that was all black screen and something like say, oh, I didn't do anything wrong and the like, though, even though he literally admits that the whole evidence is bullshit, that still doesn't excuse what he did and everything. It wasn't your fault, by the way. Well, for someone who said that's Yeah, well, it's really something else though. Like even when he they go so far as to do other things though, like how you can blame your disabilities and something like that though. Though I did hear some other things around this guy saying that he has other commentators that have so already though, and sometimes he also has his own drama to do with Drama Alert or Keemstar and the like, though. Truthfully, I don't care at this point because honestly, as bad as Keemstar is, though, I don't want to discuss about him, though. And I think that's one of the reasons why my take on are stressing me out, though, because there's just too many goddamn people, not just on this platform, but any platform, who will do something to get their attention in the worst way, though. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's going to get attention in the worst way. I'm not saying that. Some people want attention in the best way they can, though. But from what I've seen, of the research, I really can't, honest to say, though, despite his disability or despite how much he's really gone through sexual assault when he was younger, though, I don't really buy that as an excuse for your own actions. Because let's put it this way: if you're gonna tell me that your actions are really the fault of why you act the way you do, I'm not gonna has say anything to really feel sympathy unless you actually didn't do the stuff you didn't do. This is what I mean when I say I wish people could stop using these here her excuses as an excuse for their actions, though. Because if you have a reason to be why you are, though, then I'm gonna ask you, to at least why don't you just go ahead and get some help, or better yet, stay off the internet so no one could really get into you, though, because that's really here's something I can't really do in of itself, though. Honestly, while a lot of people can tell me that he's gone for good, and while his channel is still up, even though he's declined so far, though, I'm not gonna say anything more than that, though. Let's be honest. This wasn't the user I was supposed to do, though. But honestly, since I forgot what I had in my folder that I wasn't supposed to do, though, because there was another user I was supposed to do, but sort now, besides ImAllexx, I'm thinking of doing a user that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with if you're part of the gotcha community. But until then, yeah, that's all I have to say about this video, and hopefully the next video that'll come up today, after this one, will do better than the one I have right now. So until then, I'll see you all in the next video. See ya then.